6. Hello there. How's it going, fam? Look what I just found. That's right, fam. Just found this. Should we try it out? Oh, wow. Less than 5 ingredients with a scan me for a free airdrop. Here's the magic part, fam. Got it right here. Give it a go. Whew. That was amazing. Refreshing. All the salts you need in your electrolyte premix. Definitely check out Crypto Rush now. It even has a bonus creatine. That's right. Got to build those strong muscles. Help with all that muscle recovery. Crypto Rush gives you the rush that you need to propel yourself throughout the day. Crypto Fam Radio, and your host Mountain Dew. Let's go. Get some Crypto Rush now. And I'm really happy that you could join me this morning, Ben. I really appreciate you taking the time. So welcome to another 111 episode with Crypto Fam Radio. And how has your morning been so far? You were telling me earlier you kind of just skip breakfast, or you just have a protein shake. So I'd love to get into that, like your morning routine. Is this what you do every morning, or is this how you start, or how do you start?
I'm full-time in crypto. Basically just roll out of bed at about 8:30, check the charts, go to CoinMarketCap, see what's pumping. Then I have a Twitter space at 9:30 a.m. that I join every morning, or at least like 4 Monday through Thursday usually. So catch up on the news, see what I can talk about on the Twitter space, what coins are pumping, what sectors are hot, etc. So that's like from 8:30 to 9:30. Coffee in the meantime, obviously. Then do the Twitter space, usually 9:30 around 11 or 11:30. Then back to the charts, tweets, some technical analysis, put up a video or two, go to the gym later in the day, then back to crypto 6, 7 p.m. And it's pretty much my day in a nutshell.
Wow. Where do you fit your workout in there? I know you work out, Ben.
Yeah, I like usually a 5:30 p.m. class I do, sometimes the 4:15. I'm an evening workout person, sometimes at 6:45. But yeah, morning just does not cut it for me.
Interesting. Okay. I noticed there's 2 different types of people that go to the gym every day, right? It's the morning people or the evening people. Okay, so you're one of the evening guys, huh? All right.
I've never met somebody who does both. You're either a morning person or an evening. It's at least there's no decision to be made. Every day, 5:30 p.m. That's it.
Unless you meet those crazies that do both because they're actually training for something, then I can understand it, So it just depends how. I guess if you're like a paid athlete or something, you're going to the gym twice or something, or you're David Goggins, or I don't know, right? So it's like
if it's like your job, your brand, like
your job,
Hollywood actor getting ready for a movie, then I'm going twice a day.
I'm going twice a day, every day, 7 days.
I'll suck it up then,
No days off.
Right, exactly.
But no, I'm a morning guy. I actually got my run in this morning, so I did an easy 5 miles. I'm back in the training saddle. Actually, I just got sponsored for my next marathon, so I'm very excited about that, Ben. Nice. And I'm incorporating kind of with my brand and everything with Crypto Fam Radio. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you. I want to go back to what you are doing with some of like, what are you, give me a little bit more background about Ben. Who is Ben Marks? Who is this guy from Boston? I know we got to talk to each other, finally meet IRL for the first time during eDenver. And I was just really inspired by what you have going on. And also, who you were able to connect with and kind of flow through the room and build conversations and build rapport with people. And I thought that was really valuable. So that's one of the reasons I decided to try to invite you over here. And I'm really glad that you accepted my invitation. So thank you. And you have the floor.
Thank you. Yes, for all the viewers, we were in the same group chat going into Ethereum Denver. We had some of the same friends, and it's we hadn't met yet, so it's like, okay, where are you? What part of the conference you at? What table, etc. So it's good to finally put the face to the Telegram name. You never quite know who you're looking for. I'm Doc, so people always know who they're looking for. When I'm looking for somebody else, usually I don't know.
Right.
But anyways, back to my story. So I'm from Massachusetts. I grew up out here, went to high school out here, went to college out here. Moved out to Los Angeles after graduation, partially to just kind of wanted to move out there, partially because I went to grad school eventually at USC, got an MBA right there. It's kind of more of an academic background like that. And after grad school, I worked in corporate finance for a bunch. I did worked at Sony Music Studios for a little bit, or Sony Movies, in their residuals analysis department. That was a little bit of financial analysis and a little bit of sort of auditing, that kind of stuff. Worked in Bank of America, worked for a lot of banks in their statistical analysis department. So kind of all over the place, mostly corporate American financial institution sector. So yeah, not really related to crypto, but I first found out about crypto in 2014, just was reading about it, going to the Reddit message boards for a few years, didn't pull the trigger on buying it then, obviously mad at myself. First bought it in 2017 though, so still pretty good when we had the bull run in the fall. 2017, crypto went from like 2,000 or 3,000 all the way up to 19,000. Started going to some meetups then in Los Angeles. Bought some, then sold a little bit of it too much, a little too much of it around 2019 when the market. I mean, nobody like held their crypto for years and years. You know,
Right.
kept some, sold a little bit too much of it. But yeah, I went to some conferences then, invested in some ICOs back then, bought some of the top 10 coins, bought like a diversified portfolio. So just sort of learned about the industry, wasn't working in it or anything. Then wasn't really involved in crypto from 2019 to 2022, and then rejoined in 2022. I always kind of knew I wanted to start a YouTube channel, start a Twitter channel, be more of an influencer, KOL, caller, whatever you want to call it. Because in 2017, that's how I learned about the industry. I was watching videos of Crypto Lark, Chico Crypto, Crypto Bobby, you know, the real old school Data Dash, the old school people like that. So yeah, 2022, just pulled the trigger. Been doing it for 3 years now. For the first 2 years, I was full-time. I was not full-time. I was doing another job too, and just working for a company around here in their events management department. So I've kind of been all over the place with my jobs, and went full-time about almost a year ago, about 9-10 months ago. It's going very well. Obviously, the last 2 months, kind of a little disappointed with the market going down, but business has been pretty steady. So that's good. My following is growing steadily. And yeah, I've been going to a lot of conferences since then. I like to join a lot of Twitter spaces too. I mean, you know, just doing the videos, that's one thing. We need to sort of interact with communities, with the other influencers, with the teams, developers, etc. So that's where the conferences come in. That's where the Twitter spaces come in. And now here I am about 3.5 years into running my Twitter and YouTube channels.
Have you always been a fast talker, Ben?
Yeah, people have said that. Do I talk a little fast? I should probably slow it down a little bit. Yeah.
I was trying to catch everything. I was taking notes. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go.
It's hard when I talk to people and English is not their native language. Then I like
Right.
really have to slow myself down. Anyone else, it's like generally okay.
Like I caught it because obviously, you know, my native language is English, and usually I talk fast as well. So I try to naturally I'm a naturally fast talker, so I'm like I try to slow down too. So how did you begin to understand how to communicate properly with people? Was this like in school, during college, or in your finance days, or how did you understand that communication was a really important asset that you had to work on with yourself?
Probably through jobs. Obviously, you have class, a little bit classroom, and you know, you're giving presentations, taking grad school at USC, just tons of presentations, and we're not a public speak. You're always working in teams with people. A lot of times, people you don't really like, so that kind of just helps you build your communication skills and adapt to working with people that you don't. Oh, it's a lot of dominant personalities in business school. Some you just like.
That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, that, and then on the job too, obviously any job, you're going to be doing a lot of presentations. Just that's all jobs are. Corporate America, it's meetings. It's very little. It's not as much just route sort of work like studying for a test or writing a paper like in school. It's team meetings, taking down notes, and most people making phone calls. So the working world first and foremost, I would say.
So corporate America, blame corporate America.
Mostly, yeah.
I absolutely love it. So I want to go back to where did you, okay, so you said in 2017 you started listening, you started going on YouTube with influencers, you started to learn about crypto a little bit back then, and you started seeing all these influencers, and you're like, I could do that too, right? I could be an influencer, I could be a KOL. So it's like, I guess that was like some of your aspirations, some of those influencers. So what did you need to do to learn from them and to kind of take the next step for you to kind of do it yourself? Like what brought you, you know, from there to there essentially?
Yeah, taking the next step. That was, I probably should have done a little bit earlier in 2017, because back then there were literally only 4 or 5 different influencers. So if you were one of them, like Crypto Lark or, you know, even some of the big ones like Cryptos R Us, he didn't even start till 2021. But if you were, there were only 4 or 5 in 2017. If you started then, you were pretty much guaranteed to be given a following, because there just weren't that many channels and crypto was pumping.
Right.
So yeah, there was no real trigger in 2022. I just, it wasn't. I just kind of wanted to just start it. I also figured it was a good time. The market wasn't pumping. 2021 was the big pump, so I figured a lot of other influencers would go in then, and maybe they had dropped out in 2022 when the market was calm. So I'm like, okay, even though there might not be as much news on a day-to-day to talk about, it's a good place, sort of business-wise, to join because there's just not as many KOLs, but the audience is always going to be there. So I just kind of randomly one day just started and grew it from there.
That's amazing. And you just started on YouTube first, right? You didn't do any other platform but YouTube?
Correct. YouTube first. Now I'm about 50-50 YouTube and Twitter. It started more like 75 YouTube, 25 Twitter. The Twitter Spaces has really brought up Twitter's in terms of the cryptocurrency industry in particular. It's really raised its profile on that. And then it's a good way to just quickly tweet off charts. A video, you're explaining fundamental analysis, you're doing much more of a deep dive into a token. Twitter, if you talk too much in a tweet, nobody reads it. So you have to be very brief with your points, but get the detail across, like what is causing this coin to pump or what is the new development in one sentence in 10 words. So you build two separate skill sets right there. They're very complementary as well.
Definitely. I love that. So are you saying you're moving more, I guess, to Twitter X now and less to YouTube, or is it kind of like...
It's going to stay about exactly 50-50. I like the compliment right there. Every week is a little bit different. When there's more going on, like when the market's pumping, there's more videos to do. You just have way more to do. When there's less going on, then you're spending more time on Twitter Spaces. You can actually kind of deep dive into just tweets about new developments for the project that you might not spend like a couple hours doing a video on, but you can fire off a quick 10-minute preparation tweet. So it really depends. But when the market's pumping, it's a little more YouTube. When the market's not pumping, maybe a little bit more Twitter, or about 50-50.
Got you. So when you're doing and I assume, are you live streaming or is this all pre-taped when you do your videos, or how does that work?
Yeah, I don't really do live stream. I thought about it. I just haven't quite done that yet. Just videos, pre-taped videos. That's what I did from the start. It seems to be working pretty well. So I haven't quite seen the need to switch it up yet.
Sure. And are you doing them on YouTube and then you're just doing them on X as well, or just focused on YouTube for the videos?
Mostly just YouTube. A few I have also uploaded to X. It takes a lot longer to upload a video to X. The picture quality is great when you upload just a regular video onto Twitter. But so you want a shorter video, like a 2 to 3 minute video, I might upload to both. Most videos in YouTube, 8 to 10 minutes, that is much better, much more preferred for YouTube. No one on Twitter, they have short attention spans. Nobody's going to watch an 8 to 10 minute video, and it takes a lot longer to upload it.
Right. And I know we've talked about TikTok. Yeah, I know you haven't pulled the trigger yet. So tell me about, like, what would get you over the edge for TikTok? How would you work it in your workflow, so to speak? Because I know you see the value, Ben. I know you see the value in it. So talk to me about that.
I see it's just so much different than my 8 to 10 minute videos. Like if I was doing short form YouTube videos, then it would be, sort of a similar skill set, 8 to 10 minutes to that. And it's a lot going on already with the long YouTube videos and the Twitter. So I'm definitely not opposed to it. It's just a little bit different than my typical skill set, and it's adding a lot onto the equation. You have to specialize how much time you have and which specialized tasks you want to take care of, but it's certainly a possibility. I'm, considering it.
Yeah. And because I'm just trying to think of a good funnel for you. So what if, and this is just totally an idea, but what if you took those same videos and cut it like a portrait style through like an AI platform, right? And you do it between 3 to 5 minutes, right? And it's like, hey, if you want to learn more, you see the full video, you provide the link and it pulls them to your YouTube then. And so you can kind of get that funnel started on your TikTok.
Are there good AI tools that do that?
Yes, there's quite a few that I can refer you to that automatically do those cuts for you. So you can do that. So I'll totally shoot them over to you. One off the top of my head I know is called Flowjin, FLOWJIN.com, I think, or .ai, one of those. And that will literally just cut up your video automatically and give you actually the best parts of the video, and actually will give you a rating of how well the video will rate based off of views and whatever. I'm like, I don't know how it does it, just does it. So I was like, it's cool. But and then you can crop the video. Like I said, if it's landscape, it'll crop the portrait automatically for you, and you can automatically have the captions. It makes it really easy. So I'll definitely shoot you over that. And then there's a few other ones. I think Descript is another one, Descript.ai. There's a bunch of great AI video tools for content creators. And so I think we need to we try to utilize those, right, and leverage those to try to get as many on as many platforms as possible. And this is what I've been trying to do with Crypto Fam Radio. I'm trying to leverage LinkedIn more and TikTok more, and then also YouTube more. I'm not native to YouTube. You are. So I feel like I'm learning so much from your YouTube, story because I need to like try to get my YouTube on more. I'm like, I was primarily focused on X, and then I moved to TikTok, and now I'm like trying to leverage this podcast essentially to put on YouTube, so I can get my YouTube numbers up. That's literally the only reason this podcast exists. So I'm just trying to like build up those numbers, build up that influence. And I'd love for you to kind of walk me through some of the content creation process, since that's what you literally do most of the time. You told me before you don't really live stream too much. You're mostly the content creator. So walk me through kind of like your content creating process for those who may want to kind of do what you do.
Yeah, so it's about 2 to 4 hours total start to finish for each video, from the start of the preparation to when the video is live. Just depends. It's a lot of research, obviously. Just first find out which coin you want to cover for the deal. You just want a general news video, or is there one specific coin that is pumping that you want to cover that? Both videos tend to do equally well. They both fit with my brand. So if there's one specific coin that's pumping, it's going to go with that. Otherwise, I just do a general news video. Then go to Twitter, collect all what, it's buzzworthy, what I want to talk about, then kind of go to websites like Cointelegraph.com or Coindesk.com. Then you always want to get some print articles that also specify the news as opposed to just showing tweets. People like visuals. It's kind of hard to just talk like this happened, that happened. You can do that, but you need to do a little bit of also just show it in publication as well. So a lot of research like that to plan out the flow. What do I want to start with? What do I want to finish with? What do I want to conclude with? The first 30 seconds is always important. You want to know already kind of like what you're going to talk about, send for those 30 seconds that you can sort of summarize and end with a hook, like, and then I'm going to go over this, and it kind of surprised me, or you'd be surprised by what actually caused this to happen, etc. Because then that obviously makes people watch until the end. And then you just sort of start filming. Usually I film about 30 to 60 second clips at a time. Some people can, everyone's different there. Some people can just literally prepare a video and talk for 8 minutes straight. I'm not like that. I don't have that skill set. Some people need to stop every 5 seconds and splice it together. About 30 to 60 seconds. That's as long as I can talk and, not be sort of stammering my words or pausing the words. I kind of, firm emphasis on certain sentences, etc. So that's what I do. Then I do about 8 to 10 clips of those, 30 seconds, 60 seconds each. And then afterwards, just kind of put it together, put one frame with another frame, do the transitions, make sure there's no dull noise, maybe edit out a few specific parts. I don't actually have an editor. I know some people have hired an editor. They're on the payroll. I don't have one. There's a few videos I've sent to people to edit. But it kind of takes a while. It's a couple hours delay in your video, and then it's usually breaking news in crypto, so you need to get the video out immediately covering whatever the news is. So that's the only delay there. And then I just upload it and go from there, interact with some of the comments. I usually do 1 to 2 videos a day. If the market's pumping, it's usually 2. It can be 3. But when the market's not pumping, there's just not as much to talk about. So it's 1 video and then a lot of Twitter action at the same time. So that's probably the process, I'd say, in a nutshell.
Perfect. And how do you market your videos? Just primarily through X, or?
I just kind of upload them since it's been 3 years. So I kind of already got a big following right there.
Gotcha.
So I don't usually do a hype up tweet like I'm going to do a video on this or that. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I will also do a video tweet, as I mentioned, where I upload the video. Sometimes I'll just do a video tweet with the link to the video, etc. It has to be an extra important video where it's either already getting a lot of traction or there's something very important there that I want to make sure people see that video. Otherwise, I just put it on YouTube and people watch.
People still watch, yeah. And so you do like what, at least 1 to 2 videos a day?
Yeah,
on the market?
On average, about 1 to 2 videos a day. Yeah.
And you've been doing this for how many years?
3 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was working, it was just obviously just 1 video a day, very rarely more than that. Nowadays, 1 to 2, occasionally 3 if it's like a really busy week, but right now, 1 to 2 average.
Got you. And so, okay, so this is a great question. So you were still working when you started doing this, right? Content creation.
3 years of the 3 years I've been doing it. First 2, I was doing it simultaneously. So, yeah.
Wow. So how did you fit that in your routine then? Because I assume you had a 9 to 5, right? Traditional corporate America job. So you do this like right after you got off work, or?
Do the filming then? Yeah, it's a great question you asked. Obviously, you're not really working for 8 hours a day. So you're going to be doing in the afternoon, especially you're going to be doing some preparation, going on your websites, and nobody's looking at your crypto stuff.
Okay. I don't know.
They're in crypto too. They like to, so if they see my chart on the computer, they just want to talk about it as well.
Sure.
So yeah, I would always have some preparation done by the time I was leaving work. So generally, I was just ready to start filming by the time the work day was done. I got home. So multitasking, basically.
Right. And tell me a little bit about your film experience. Like, I don't, you don't have a background in film. So was that a bit nerve-wracking when you first started filming yourself, or how did that go?
It's a good question as well, because I wasn't even really that versed in social media in general. I feel like girls, specifically attractive girls, they're going to be really versed in cameras and talking. Yeah, like me, I mean, I had an Instagram page. That's about it. I hardly post any pictures. So social media cameras were just, new to me. So kind of just a lot of trial and error, basically, to start filming. Always make sure to watch myself, ideally before I posted, just because you always sort of notice stuff. Maybe you didn't say this word right. You're leaning at an angle. You're doing too many hand movements, especially. Those are certain things that I have a problem with. So just watching myself, fine tuning it. Becoming a good speaker. And then I've also found speaking on Twitter Spaces, it just helps your public speaking skills. There's a big audience there, so you just focus a little bit more on sounding good with what you say and your pronunciation of words. YouTube, you're just kind of talking to yourself, so sometimes you ramble a little bit too much because you don't really know how it's reacting against people. Twitter Space, if somebody doesn't like it or somebody cuts you off, okay, that wasn't good. So you kind of figure out how to actually talk well.
Be better. Wait, okay, so this is a great question too. When did you start Twitter Spaces again? Was it in 2021?
Right when so Twitter Spaces, they've only been around since 2021. They caught big around late 22, but I was doing my full-time job at the same time, so you definitely can't multitask. Twitter Spaces, a few at night, not really. So that was just right when I stopped working, which is about 10 months ago, April of this past year, 2025. Because you got to fill stuff with your day. So it worked out perfectly. You need a little bit more interaction with people. You want to catch the buzz, talk to the people, see what's going on that day. So I just didn't have time with it in the 9 to 5. So it was strictly just research online, going to Cointelegraph.com. But once I had free day, then you need to do that stuff. So that's when, so 10 months ago. So.
Wow, only 10 months ago. So even before Twitter Spaces, though, you were talking to yourself in the camera. So, but you already had, but you've already had that natural ability to communicate with people through corporate America, right? You've done tons of speaking gigs, panels. Okay, so it was just basically getting in front of the camera and just talking to yourself and seeing yourself, and then also trying to carry a conversation with yourself. That was kind of the biggest takeaway.
Right. So I guess my speaking ability already was pretty good. It was strictly the camera ability that
just looking at yourself while you talk, which honestly for me was really anxiety driven when I started doing TikTok lives. All right. These daily lives I did right after Christmas, basically all of January. I would sit with my phone in front of the camera and basically talk to myself or talk in chats, right? Because you get the little chat window on the bottom left-hand corner of TikTok, and you'd really focus on the people that were coming into your live, right? And you try to engage with everyone in the chats, but you try to keep the conversation flowing with yourself, because essentially you're just talking to yourself forever. Because the thing with TikTok live is you'll find once you get on TikTok, which I know you will one day, I know it, is you have to really figure out how to talk to yourself, because you can't invite speakers. You can't do anything really. TikTok kind of does an evaluation on you. It restricts you until you get a certain follower count, basically. It used to be 1,000 followers before you could get on TikTok live. Now I think it's 100. But even once you get that 100, you can't request for people to come. You can't talk to people. Like I said, they almost do an audit on your account to make sure you're you really want to do this or something. And once they see the consistency that you've been doing a few lives, then you can start figuring out what TikTok live is, the certain panels, how to bring speakers up, how to co-host. It is actually really cool once you kind of figure things out. And TikTok is actually way more complicated than you can imagine, right? And that's just doom scrolling videos every day, that you see every, freaking influencer do or Gen Zer do, right? So I honestly, in a lot of ways, it's very social, right? It's very different from YouTube, I guess, in that respect. It's almost like X. It's almost like X and X Spaces, I would say. More like X Spaces, but they don't rug.
Yeah.
They don't rug, man, and you don't have to dox yourself either, right? You can turn off your video. You can just have your little PFP spaces, and it's basically like a space, and it's not as ruggy or it's not as laggy as some of these spaces I find on X, But that's interesting you mentioned about X Spaces. Talk to me more about being on X for the first time and speaking in these spaces for the last year. You said about a year and a half ago you've been doing spaces now. So tell me a little more about that.
Yeah, so the first time I did it was late 2022. I'd gone to a conference in Miami. I met some influencers with pretty big followings. Jake Gagan, Rodney, his name's Crypto Journeys, those guys. Probably heard of them.
Yeah,
so they were doing Twitter Spaces right when Twitter Spaces were kind of starting to get popular. They weren't that big in late 2022. So they just asked me to join their space. They had a big following, so it wasn't getting started with like a small space. You're just getting thrown right in the fire there. And then the FTX collapse had happened right around that. I forget if it was before or after, but then Twitter Space audience blow up big time because the mainstream media didn't really know what to report on that. FTX blew up, what was the cause of it? So you had to listen to Twitter Spaces, get the real nitty gritty, you know, Mario Naval space, you know, Jake Hagan space, etc. So yeah, I guess it was just good, just getting thrown into big spaces like that. You got to kind of adapt and get used to a lot of eyes on you initially, and then the live stream point. So that's a good point you made. If you're doing a live stream, you can look at the comments. You're kind of talking to yourself. You're looking at the comments. You're answering some of the questions in the comments. It's kind of a skill, so you have to know some stuff to talk about. You're interacting with an audience who is just typing stuff. You can't really vibe off. You can't like just vibe with their mannerisms or how they're talking. It's just their question. Totally separate skill set. But yeah, and those run for like what, 45 minutes, an hour usually. So
as long as you want.
Yeah.
As long as you want. I've noticed a lot of people, if they don't know what to talk about, they just do engagement lives. So basically engagement farming. You've probably seen it on X. Same with TikTok. People come into these lives, they follow each other, GYGY, got you back, whatever. And they just engagement farm, like everyone that's in the lives.
Have like similar size audiences?
Usually,
what is engagement farming mean exactly?
Basically, engagement farming means there's these live hosts that put on a live space, and everyone that is in the live, they just try to connect with those followers and get those followers to follow the other followers in the chats as well. So everyone's trying to follow each other, essentially, right? And so the live host's responsibility is to try to pin. You have the ability to actually pin certain comments through the chats, through the people that are running through your live. And so those pins are usually, they try to instigate, hey, follow this account that's in the chats. They look really great. And then they'll do a shout out to that account. And then they'll describe, oh, this person, he's a podcaster, you know, or she's a baby mommy who loves selling cookies or something. She's got a great cookie fest. Go follow her, you know, something to that, you know, in that respect. So they literally do this for hours, and I was able to grow a pretty big following through my account just because of these engagement lives. Because I would just sit in these engagement lives, and every time you follow someone, they follow you back. Like, it's the easiest way to get follows on TikTok. We're literally, like, a lot of people say, how do you get so many followers so quick? Because literally I got like 2K followers in less than a month on TikTok. And I'm like, yeah, because I just sat in these engagement lives and I just farmed everyone that they pinned. I followed back, or even in the chats, as the chats roll, if there's an account that you like and you can automatically reply to them really quick and say, hey, I got you. And they're like, okay, I got you back, GYB. And so you can basically just automatically follow people that way. If it's an account you're interested in, that you want to see their content. A lot of these accounts, they're just not like, they're no good. They don't have any content. They're not building a brand. A lot of these contents, I don't know why they even exist. Maybe people are bored, obviously. People want to be entertained. But at the same time, this is what I found was one of the quickest ways to grow on TikTok. Whoops, my light went out. My bad, fam. All right, we're back. My bad. I swear I have power. I swear. Do not live in a camper, I swear. All right, I'm in a real house. All right, so does that answer your question?
Yeah, that answers the question. Right. So it's kind of helping smaller accounts just sort of grow and sort of get over that initial hump, but you don't really have too many followers. Makes sense.
Yes, exactly. So it's the same that Twitter. I'm sure you've been into the Twitter spaces. They do the follow for follow as well. There's quite a few spaces like that where they try to engage with the people who have lower follower counts and try to help each other out that way. So, I mean,
like I feel like the most productive. So long if we go that conversation, probably the best way is just going to conferences, because then that's when you meet other people who oftentimes have big followings. They do the spaces, and then it's just much easier to either get on a live stream with them or get on a space with them. If you just cold message them, they're probably not going to respond, particularly if they don't have too much to gain. If they have a bigger following than you, or they've been around longer, you don't cover similar projects. So you got to just, but everyone's very receptive at conferences. Everyone's super friendly. Sometimes it's hard to find people and it will pin them down, et cetera. And you got to follow through afterwards. But that's probably the greatest yield I've found in just growing your audience through getting involved with other people's communities, basically.
Yeah,
do you agree with that?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a great segue. Why don't you talk to me more about your conference experiences? Like, what was one of the first conferences that you attended, and then what did you find really useful when going to these conferences?
Yeah, I've been going to conferences since 2018. So that's one of my area of expertise, conference marketing. They are way more fun now. Back in 2018, no one like knew each other. So there were
Mm,
teams who were if you were working there, then it's great. You just stood behind your table. And then if people wanted to come to your table and talk about your project, you did that. Otherwise, you just had to mill around. You didn't have any friends in the industry. You didn't know anyone. You would just talk to this table, talk to that table, maybe talk to a random person who was kind of, around the same table as you were. And then you just go and listen to a speech just because you don't have enough tables to talk to, whatnot. Nowadays, yeah, you do a little bit of that. There's some projects you see they're going to be presenting there, sponsoring, and then you definitely want to learn more about them. That was like Cantor and Aztec at this past conference, ETH Denver. But for the most part, they're just more fun. It's just a great way to see your friends, meet new friends, meet people from Twitter Spaces you haven't met in person, and just kind of target other people that are generally going to be at a specific conference. Just basically look for them on the expo floor, go and introduce yourself. Because again, I've never met an unfriendly person at a conference. Everyone's in the same industry. They're excited to be there. They're in a good mood. You just have a lot in common with everyone. So you just start talking to people. You got to be good at the follow through. But yeah, so just going to conferences in 2018, that's probably just a lot of experience. You just learn how to basically just talk to, random people that you don't know, and then learn how to follow through afterwards. That's it just kind of comes with experience. That's, as a guy, I feel like you have to work. Girls don't have to do that quite as much, because guys always, whether it's a business sense or social sense, guys always approaching girls. The guy, you learn, whether it's business or you're approaching a girl, you have to just initiate conversations. You have to, kind of perfect that communication style. So going to conferences, especially in 2018, it helped a lot. Now they're even more fun. I go partially for fun, partially for business. We'll definitely keep going. I see a lot of big influencers, they get to a certain size and then they kind of stop going to conferences because it's like, it doesn't really generate revenue for them sometimes, or they're making enough money. I don't know. They don't see a value. Maybe it throws the rhythm off, because there's a little bit of an opportunity cost to go to a conference. You're not really making videos or stuff for a 3, 4, 5 day period. So you might give up a few, but the overall, the benefits, the new business, new contacts you can make definitely outweigh that. So I don't approve of influencers who don't go to any conferences or just stop going because they don't need it. They're making enough money without it. It shouldn't just be for a new person who's trying to make contacts. You should keep going, even if you're big in the industry.
yeah, because you never know, right? Like, relationships are everything in a business. I find your network is your net worth. As much as I hate that phrase, it's so true in so many ways, in so many facets. Like, if I didn't meet you, Ben, we wouldn't be talking right now for the
That's
podcast.
right.
This is content. This is going to help both of us at the end of the day. And I think everyone should go to conferences. Like, it's huge, because we talk in spaces all the time, and we talk to the people we've never met IRL. And this is a great opportunity to connect with those people IRL, and then form those really long-lasting relationships, those partnerships, whatever that you want to do down the road, when you really see that person and you see that value. Because that's what I find more valuable than anything. It shouldn't be just about the money, right? It's about the people that you connect with along this journey. This is how we build community in crypto. And so I absolutely love that. And I wanted to go back to what you were saying on conferences are more fun now than they used to be back in the day. So why do you think they're more fun now than they were back then?
Just because the industry is more mature. So people already have established connections and friends. And there's people you look forward to seeing. Maybe this team you talked to and hung out at the last conference, you see they're going to be at the next one. So you just go and talk to them again. 2018, the industry was just new. Conferences were just getting started. So it's either your team pays for you to go and represent the company, or you're just going to check out the industry, see the scope of it, see what coins you want to buy, see if it's an industry you want to get more involved in the first place. It just, as any industry grows, gets more mature, you just make more friends, more business connections, and things start to get more fun.
Definitely. I absolutely love that. So what's the next conference that you'll be attending?
Bitcoin Vegas. Very excited for that one. You're going to go to, I know you said you're going to XRP Vegas. You going to Bitcoin Vegas too?
Why not? It makes sense. They're literally on the same week. So why wouldn't I go to both, right?
Oh,
I think Bitcoin conference is a few days before.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to be there anyway. So I'll probably, I might not go to the conference. I may do the side events. I don't know yet. We'll just kind of see how it pans out. I'm going to be there regardless in Vegas for the entire month, actually, towards the end of April, towards the end of May. I'm not going to get too much into it now because this is an interview. We're going to do it in Spaces with Jenna X. But yeah, we're going to work on some collab stuff with her in Vegas, it looks like, moving forward. But not too much alpha here. I want to go back to
She is. I know she's going XRP Vegas and Bitcoin Vegas. That's definitely good news there.
Of course. You know,
yeah. For Bitcoin Vegas, apply for a press pass. They're good about giving those out. Just go to the website. You don't need to be like huge or anything. It'll take like a couple days or a week to respond, but just find it on the website, apply for that, and you'll get it for free.
Sweet. Thanks.
Some conferences are good with that stuff. Some are like really cheap. It's really ETH Denver's free forever, but for other conferences, Bitcoin Vegas, they're good about it.
Okay, sweet. I will totally follow up. Yeah, I wasn't sure the process with that, but I will definitely look into it. And then, yeah, I'm just like, I haven't been to Vegas in years, so it'll be great to, you know, reconnect with the city. I think the last time I was in Vegas was 2017, I think, or 2018. So it's been a minute. I'm not sure what's changed. I'm sure something's changed since over 10 years ago, but
always new buildings popping up there.
Always new stuff going on. So no, I'm excited regardless. And I know the weather's going to be great and hot and nice. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next conferences that we'll both be attending. Hopefully you'll get to catch XRP a little bit as well. Even if you can't attend the conference, maybe stay a few days after, do some side events, you know, because I think at least spending a good week in Vegas will definitely be well worth it for you and for me, because I found just staying an extra few days after ETH Denver was huge. Because I got to do a few more interviews. I got to reconnect with a lot of people I wouldn't met at the conference before. I think taking some time to kind of assess your content and see what you have from the event, and then doing even follow-ups a few days just right after, try to get it down, you know, because I know a lot of people kind of left like right after ETH Denver, and I was like, you should have stayed a little bit longer. There's still a bunch of people here you could have connected with, you know. I think there was another side event that I went to right after conference, which was an amazing AI tech side event that I wouldn't have gone if it wasn't, you know, if I didn't see it on Luma, you know. So there's always something going on even after conferences, you know. So that maybe
you were there the full way. I remember you were tweeting like, wow, he's still here full week.
Yep.
Yep. Go hard or go home. That's the attitude. Yeah.
Well, it helped that I had family in Denver.
Okay.
So I've got a sister. So I just kind of crashed with her for that after a few days after I got out of my Airbnb. So I was very fortunate, you know, to have family. I know not everyone does have family, but it's always good to have some connections or something. You know, if it makes sense, obviously, to your traveling budget, definitely I would recommend, but maybe it's not for everyone too. You know, you can do the same thing you do at conferences at your home if you have all the contacts you need, you know, moving forward. But no, absolutely love that. Yeah, Vegas is going to be lit. I'm excited for that.
I went last year. It was it's great because the conference is right in the Venetian where everyone basically stays. So you never need to leave the Venetian. You got the pool at 5 p.m. The pool and hot tubs were packed. Conference is over. You're not quite going out. Conference right there, hotel rooms right there, restaurants and everything. So yeah, there were a couple side events at other places, but for the most part, you're just staying at the Venetian. Great times.
Okay. And so how many times have you been to the Bitcoin conference?
Only once last year. I tried it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one conference everyone's been to like 4 or 5. Or this one only started 2021, but it was a spinoff of something else. I think like the North America Bitcoin conference previously. It feels like this one's been around for 10 plus years. It's relatively new, but it's the same. Bitcoin Maxes, you know, they go year in, year out. They do not go to like every conference. They're very specialized. We like kind of like free flow from one conference to the other, but the Maxes, they just stay with Bitcoin conferences.
Okay. All right. So you wouldn't call yourself a Bitcoin maxi then, right?
No, definitely not. That's the first coin I bought. So generally the first coin you buy, you kind of always have a little preferential allegiance. I'm always going to be a little more Bitcoin than Ethereum, a little more Bitcoin than Solana, just because that was the first coin. In 2017, that was basically the main thing you buy. You weren't really, maybe you bought a little bit of Ethereum or Stellar Lumens was a big one. Tron had just come out then, but Solana was not around then. So
that's
Bitcoin.
True. True. And XRP. Can't forget XRP.
They're pretty much the second oldest. They're 2012.
I think they came before Ethereum, right? XRP?
They were late, like a good 2 years before Ethereum.
That's right. Yeah. Interesting. XRP, man. Yeah, and it's so funny because I never really was into XRP until just a few months ago when my business partner was like all about it. And he was like, bro, you got to get an XRP. I will plug you in. I'm like, I had no idea how big the community was until he kind of introduced me to everyone. I was like, whoa. And I know it's not even everyone, you know, because I actually went to a few XRP side events during ETH Denver. And I couldn't believe how well established it is. Like the people around me, it's like they're all older. and they dress nice. And I don't know, I felt like I was almost like part of this like business meeting or something, one of the events I went to. I don't know, I felt so out of place, Ben. I don't know what
it has sort of a classier, professional, academic reputation. It's not like a wild meme coin community. It's a very serious sort of prim and proper community.
Yeah, it's like banks. It reminded me of like traditional bank finance. Like I could totally see you in that room. Like
it's a top-down culture with these communities. So Vitalik, dresses like a slob, but that's him. So obviously the community is going to be very sort of casual. Brad Garlinghouse, he, I think Stanford, Silicon Valley. He's just prim and proper tech. Dresses all formal. So the community is going to be top-down culture.
That's true. And then Solana. Maybe those guys, degens, bunch of degens.
Yeah, Solana, right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to pinpoint that.
Right.
One conference in the future people are really hyping up is Solana Breakpoint in 9 months in London. People are talking, because it's the first conference in London for anything. And then Solana Breakpoint this last year in Abu Dhabi, it was just lit. The market sucked then, far away, but everyone just said it was like the best one they've ever been to. Now it's going to London, closer for North American people. So
you going to go?
Yeah, I think so. It's not for 9 months. It's in December, but I think that might be my first Solana event there. Yeah.
Okay, in 9 months in December. I might mark that on my calendars too. I don't know where I'll be in December. That sounds lit. I want to go. That's
quick plane ride to London. It's pretty accessible from anywhere in the U.S. So.
Seriously, I know you could get one. I know Boston, very accessible. I was just thinking where I'm at in Florida. I'd probably have to go to Miami to get a cheap one, but I could probably do it out of Tallahassee or in Pensacola too. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, flights wouldn't be that expensive. But
East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. Yeah, anywhere on the East Coast is easy. Yeah, affordable for sure. So is that okay? So Vegas. So what else is on your docket for the year for conferences? Where else are you going?
So Vegas in a month and a half or 2 months, whatnot. Then Futurist Toronto. That's what I've been going to for a few years right now. Are you familiar with that one, Futurist?
I am. I went to the one in Miami early November last year for the first time. Yes. Yeah. I thought it was amazing. I love the ETH Women that they did that section. And I loved all the speakers they had. I loved how close it was at the Hard Rock Hotel down there. And just everything. It was my first conference, so it's hard to compare it to another conference, crypto conference I've been to. So all in all, I thought it was a great conference. I know it was the first time they've ever done it in Miami. I know they usually do it in Toronto. So you mentioned this is your second or third time doing that conference.
Yeah, the Toronto one's a little bigger. This will be my third Toronto one, the first Miami one. So my fourth overall Futurist one. This one's been going on since 2017 in Toronto. It's the biggest Canadian conference. So it's probably about 2 to 3 times the size of the Miami one, since that was the first one in Miami. So yeah, it's big, but it's not too big. It's definitely smaller than the Bitcoin conference, smaller than that. And then so it might kind of feel like similar size as ETH Denver, but yeah, that's good too. It's it's a big party conference, as you saw, a little less serious networking and more just kind of partying, but great crowd. And we go to a conference, for so many years, that specific conference, and it's not that big. You just recognize the same people. You look forward to the founders, the ones, two sisters, Tracy and I forget, they've been doing it since 2017. They're both Toronto names. I've been friends with them for years. I remember reading in 2017 when they were involved in some other projects like Polymath, the big Toronto project. I remember seeing their names. So yeah, we've been exchanged emails for years and years, even since 2018. So the organizers, obviously it's going to be a good conference. But yeah, that's one in July. And probably Solana Breakpoints in December, and then a Futurist does it again in Miami, which I think they said they're most.
I think so. November, I think again, right?
It'll be November again. Yeah. So I guess that's it. There are about 5 conferences in the year or so. That's
awesome.
Good.
Have you spoken at these conferences or done panel speaks or anything like that? Or
I kind of stopped. And then there's also a conference in Boston. I also go to Boston Blockchain Week. I forgot to. That's a smaller one. But yeah, I used to in 2018. I spoke at 3 conferences. It's kind of a pain in you got to apply and you never quite know if you're going to get accepted. I kind of stopped submitting those applications to speak. Obviously, everyone knows they want people who are paying for sponsorship tables to speak. Now, there are always going to be some free speaking spots, particularly if people they know go to the conference every year. Maybe I will. Maybe for Futurist, I will try to. I know. Yeah, it's a good idea, actually. I think I will. The other ones, no, but I'm not big enough to speak at the Bitcoin conference, obviously.
What do you mean? You're big. You're a big deal, man. You can speak anywhere.
Maybe like a back side panel, like way in the back. But Futurist, yeah, I think I will apply. It's a good idea. Good idea.
You should. I know they opened applications I think a month ago or something. I think they're still open. Right. I applied. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. Yeah. I got to start somewhere, bro. I got to start.
Have you heard back? Probably haven't heard back yet, right? Okay. I did get that email. Speaker applications are open. Yeah.
And it was easy to apply. It was so easy, Ben. Like it was a 1-pager done. You could do it like in less than 10 minutes. Seriously.
Good. So not like a 2-hour, like, what do you want to talk about? Just
no, it wasn't that convoluted. Yeah, it was very simple. And I think I like that. And I think after they confirm, or if you get it, I think they probably do a follow-up call or something with you to make sure you're real. But besides that, I think you're like locked in. I don't know. It's my first time. I did apply for eDenver as well. They did not accept me, unfortunately.
Did you get an actual like not accepted email? Or
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, they actually sent those out. I know, right?
It's good, right? That's.
But I'm like, I'm gonna keep trying. All right, like I love speaking, this, and I'm like, I gotta go. So I gotta get somewhere. I gotta do it and just do it. So I think anyone should. If they think that they have something to speak about, they have a platform. They have a voice. You should always request for that mic, right? You should always just apply because you never know.
Some conferences they need more speakers. It's not like they're already filled, so that you're doing them a favor. So.
Yeah, that's true. Or moderator. I'd love to be a moderator as well. I feel like I could probably do really well at that. I do it every day in Spaces as a host, as a co-host. So I'm like, it's kind of the same deal. It's just IRL. All right, and there's like.
There's one guy in my morning Twitter space. He says that he was the moderator on a conference in 2018 that I spoke at. So I spoke at 3. I don't remember the guy. I don't really know what he looks like. The voice doesn't sound familiar. He says this conference in Vegas, 2018, it was a 4-person panel. He was the moderator. I was speaking, which is a possibility that applied to 3 conferences. So yeah, I guess we knew each other from that. So yeah.
Interesting. All right. So I'm just saying, like, it's a skill as well. It's just getting on that stage is a skill. Just speaking about something you're passionate about. Not everyone can do that. And I think, the more you do it, the more people are going to recognize you, your brand, because at the end of the day, that's what you're building. You're building this personal brand, which everyone should be anyway. If you're a content creator, influencer, someone who has to talk for a living, right? I think we're getting to that point now, especially with AI on the rise. And I know we haven't even touched on that a little bit. And I'd love to get your opinion on AI and the rise of AI. And I guess in a lot of ways, how it's disappearing the job markets now, and how a lot of people are having to work harder just to get paid for certain tasks, such as speaking, let's say. So I'd love to get your take on that.
Yeah, it's. I feel like in this day and age, people are talking about AI more than actually using AI. Everyone just wants to talk about like more on, not like you right here, more on Twitter. People just tweet about. Like, you don't need to tweet about AI in every single tweet,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use Cloud that much. I use ChatGPT. If I was in school, honestly, I would probably be using it much more, just to kind of quickly condense some complicated textbook paragraph, couple pages, chapter, etc. It would be very useful for that. I've got my research down for crypto stuff and I prepare my videos. So AI, I haven't quite yet noticed too much that it could help me in that. Be changing up the routine a little. And then I'm always looking at AI coins, obviously. There is one, I gotta sort of forget the name of one. I got in a runner about a year ago or so. Obviously, any hot crypto sector with coins I'm going to be looking at. So AI was big about a year ago. Now there are some runners. It's not quite as big, but that's the sector I'm looking at right there. So yeah, that's I could probably get a little more versed in cloud. I haven't quite used it too much, but everyone seems to give good reviews. So check it out.
The Claude bot?
Claude bot. Yeah. Is that Claude? Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, it's by Claude, but it's the Claude bot that actually gives you agents underneath the Claude bot. And you can basically name all these different agents and then assign all of these agents underneath it certain tasks that you can have them do, right? Like one of these agents will just do your email. Another agent will just do your social media posting. Another agent will find you the most amazing, spot on the beach, that you need to take a vacation the next 6 months. They'll do that research. You see what I'm saying? That's what I've heard. That's what my partner has told me anyway. And she's like been really gung-ho about the whole Claude bot thing since I introduced it to her about a month ago when I got my Mac Mini. But then my Mac Mini decided to stop working last week. So I'm like, damn, this sucks. I got a new.
Everyone's talking about the Mac Mini as well now. AI
Well,
Mac Mini. It's all
it's
people are talking
native.
about.
It's native
Yeah.
to the CloudBot basically, but you could actually run the CloudBot on any computer. You don't have to have a Mac Mini to run it. I've even seen videos where you can just run it off your phone. It just does it off your phone, which is crazy. So I haven't experimented with that. I haven't done that. I kind of want to just get another Mac Mini though, because honestly, I'm an Apple guy. I've always loved just the user interface with Apple, the UX UI, and it's just easy. You know, it's simple and it's clean and it looks good, sexy, right? That's what I want in my technology. I want it sexy.
Gotta look good. Yeah, exactly.
Gotta look good. Gotta look good, man. All right, I'm all about optics. But
when you just quick question. So when you
Yeah.
say Cloud does your social media posting, does that mean like it also it composes the tweet, it does, like, and then it
Does it
does
all.
the actual post?
Does
Wow.
it all for you. Yeah, you actually sit down with it. I watched this great YouTube video, and I don't mind sending it to you later, where this guy, he basically gives you a rundown from start to finish of him installing the CloudBot, and then after what happens after you install the CloudBot. Like, he takes it one step at a time. It's like this almost 40-minute video, but it's so thorough. It's very thorough, because there's this one part of the video where you sit down with the CloudBot and you basically are getting interviewed by the bot. And everything you say, it's learning about you. It's basically creating a digital persona of you. You see what I'm saying? Your daily routines. And after it gets all that information, it assesses, and then it gives you the most efficient possible journey to basically completing the jobs you already do online. And it does it for you. So you don't even have to be online. It's creating your digital persona. That's basically what it's doing. So it'll do your YouTube videos for you. You know, everything to, I guess, the research part that you would do, it would do that for you, right? And then it would also, after you upload the video, after you're done, it would probably help you edit the video too. I'm sure you could have one of the agents train as a video editor, you know? And then all you would have to do is do your recording, you know, face recording, mic, whatever, and then upload that, and then it would cut the video for you the way that you told it to cut to you before. During the interview, it would automatically do all the cuts for you, and then it would automatically publish for you. It would ask you when you want to schedule this. You know, you tell them to schedule, and they do it for you. And you could do this literally every single day, or you could batch it. You could do batch videos if it's not time sensitive. You could do it a week per time, and then just imagine how much more time you would have to do other things IRL.
That's true. So the pros are, it saves a lot of time, and it does the research for you. Cons are, I guess, maybe you'll lose a little of your authentic voice. You might just kind of sound like the personality kind of goes away a little bit, but the material is there. There are some people on Twitter, I've noticed their tweets just start to sound a little too AI like.
Yeah, you do have to. It's not perfect yet, Ben. And that's the thing with AI. A lot of people are expecting perfection right away. You will have to go back to your videos or to your copy or any type of creative to double check AI, make sure it does it right. But all in all, it's basically your digital PA. You could call it that you have to check on every once in a while.
Okay. And then, you can't do 100% AI. It's got to be some AI, some just thrown, you know.
But I think the research part of what you do would be huge. It would help probably speed that time a lot. And then even the post work, like you could still do your own webcam, you know, whatever, in front of the camera talking. Don't let AI replicate that. People want to still see Ben, obviously, but then have maybe another AI cut up the video in a certain way where it's still you talking head, but it's all the research it's gathered, it's done all that for you, and then it does all the cuts for you to the clips, and then the exporting and the scheduling and the posting and the publishing, and that's it. You know, so I could see it at least saving you half the amount of time that you spend in content creation. That's what I see just from what you've given me in the last half an hour. But I don't know. Maybe it might save you more time, or more than that. You know, you never know. So I don't know.
Definitely look into it more.
Yeah, you should, as everyone should. Because I think it's revolutionary, and it's here to stay, and we need to be using AI more and more with our workflows, because let's be honest, you know, like, it's a tool, right? And we should use it as a tool. We shouldn't be scared about it. We shouldn't have anxiety. I'm like, if you're scared about it, you should want to learn more about it anyway, because then you can see how you can control it and how you can leverage and put it in part and how to grow your business even more efficiently than it is currently, right? So it's a helpmate in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I love it. I just need a new computer so I can restart the process again. But anyway, Ben, we're kind of winding down here. No, I lost my light again.
Your fluorescent lights are pretty good in the background. Like I've worked.
I appreciate that.
And you always have to like add new ones. Like my background, I've been working like I always add something new or take away something. background is important. So yeah, you got some nice pictures there. That
Oh, I
green
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just my my freaking ring light keeps going out here. I don't know. I've got it's not hooked up correctly to the right battery. All right, but it's hooked up to my computer now, so it's not gonna go out. It was because I'm gonna cut that part out too. But I appreciate you saying that. I've worked actually just moved into a new house, so I've just been trying to redecorate. This was very different about a month ago. And yeah, I'm curating the look of it. Also, I can actually change these lights. They were purple blue at another interview, and I was like, oh, I want it to be green this time. I want to promote, Ben. I don't know. You give me green feels. I don't know.
Appreciate that. I'll take it as a compliment. Market's pumping today, so that's good.
There you go.
When the market's pumping, I have a rule of thumb. You just keep interacting with the people you've been interacting when it's pumping. I'm all about momentum there. You just keep go with the flow, basically. Right. Okay. Never disrupt the market momentum.
Great. See, yeah, the market's pumping. Everyone was saying that in spaces this morning. I was in a few different spaces. People are like, oh, Bitcoin's at, what is it at now? 70K or 70 something?
73 now. And it has not, we have not woken up with a pump at months and months. There's been some afternoon, like it rises, but waking up, this is the first time ever. Everyone was in an ecstatic mood. It's only a couple $1,000. Like, whoa, it's pumping in the morning. I never heard of this. It's crazy.
Hype. It's all hype, man.
Yeah, if you're in the morning space, I do Crypto Breakfast Club. Feel free to join that one anytime you want to. 9:30 a.m. to 11:30, Monday through Friday.
Okay, Zach Humphrey, right?
Yeah, you can request Mike.
I sometimes do jump in his space every once in a while. Usually, what spaces do I usually do in the mornings? For a long time, I did Wake and Blake, DigiJoints. I was part of that community for a really long time. And dude, like, it was great because everyone went through his space and I was able to connect with a lot of different influencers, different projects, and then get them over to Crypto Fam Radio. So I actually used to really focus on him and Moon Queen. Moon Queen's his wife. And I developed a really close relationship with Moon Queen as well. And she is an ace when it comes to marketing. She's so smart. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You guys make it such a duo team. But besides that, yeah, there's a few other morning spaces. I think there's Scrooge's space, Ugly Duck Society, that I try to hit up. He's usually early mornings as well.
Is Moon Queen the blonde girl, or is that somebody else?
No, that's someone else. Okay. I think you're thinking of a different queen. I know there's a lot of moonbeams, moon queens, crypto queens. I know. They're like, guys, just change it to something else. Like, there's too many queens going on here. Like, I understand you guys. Like, you want to be known as queen.
Right.
What about? I know some princesses. I only know one empress.
That's right. She does have a good name because it's like princessy, but it's like a name. No one else has called it. So. Good.
It's smart. It's good branding. You can tell her she's a marketer.
It fits her look and her brand too. It's kind of like a Cleopatra look, it works.
There you go. It works. It's the smile. That's what it does for me every time. It's that smile, that big old goofy smile. But to say that, Ben, hopefully I'll see you on TikTok soon.
Possibly. It's a possibility. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share with me that you haven't shared yet? Anything else at all before we kind of
pretty much it. If you want to check me out, viewers, I'm on it's youtube.com Ben Crypto Show, one word, or just search Ben Crypto. I'll pop up. And then Twitter, it's just Ben Crypto. That's the username right there. So yeah, find me there. I'm on both. I tweet about maybe 5-6 times a day. I'm on the morning spaces, 1 to 2 videos a day, Monday through Friday, usually some afternoon, some weekday stuff as well. A lot of meme coins, mostly low caps. I do cover them, starting to get more into the top 10 coins. I do a lot of just Bitcoin technical analysis, getting into some XRP stuff as well, some utility plays, so kind of a broad mix. Meme coins are still my specialty, but it's a bunch of different stuff. So definitely check me out. Videos are in the afternoon, and then Twitter stuff is mostly in the morning and early afternoon, and then evening I just kind of wing it. So
awesome.
Thank you very much for having me. And what should I call you? What is your real name? Or do you just go by
Crypto Radio? You can just call me. I know, right? What's my real name? Yeah, Crypto Fam Radio. My crypto name's Dew or Mountain Dew. Because I climb mountains, I run up mountains, right? Do the do. Try to get people more active, inspire them to be more active. That's kind of why I came up with that short little tag name. Real name's Donald Rosier. I've been doxxed many times. But to say all that, Ben, I've had a great time with you today. And just mention, what's your handle on YouTube again? I think you said it.
Sure. So it's youtube.com, Ben Crypto Show, one word, no like hyphens or anything, just one word, Ben Crypto Show.
Okay, so no other Ben, huh? You're the only Ben crypto show there.
And you'll see Ben Cohen and BitBoy Ben Armstrong. Thankfully, now that BitBoy is gone, I'm kind of moving up. So now I'm the number. I should be the number 2 Ben that pops up. Ben Cohen, he's a big Bitcoin technical analysis, and then Ben Crypto used to be BitBoy above me, but he's inactive right now. So now I think I'm above him.
There you go. So Ben Crypto Show.
We're moving up Ben rankings there.
Moving up. Got to move up, fam. So yeah, appreciate your time again being on this podcast. And yeah, we will see you next time. Ben, much love, fam. And yeah, I'll see you on X soon.
Yeah, I'll see you. Anyways. I'll see you in half an hour on the XRP space. I'll be there with you again. And thank you very much for having me. It was definitely a pleasure. And let me know when you get all this uploaded. And I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, probably about a month. But yes, will do, Ben. Take care and have a great day. Happy Wednesday.
Thank you. You too.